Hey guys, the chicken is here and we are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, going to talk about something that's a little bit controversial. We're going to switch it up a little bit like I promised. And today what I wanted to talk about was something I've seen a lot about in the comments, especially recently. And that is going to be basically how the starting rank in Warships, is it fair? Is it unfair? Are all the top players essentially just coasting their way to victory? So we're going to talk about that. We'll play a little bit of Dr. T, some little mindless main base action, and we're just going to fully discuss this. So before we get into the video, if you guys have comments or questions, I want to hear your opinion, whatever it is. If you agree with me or if you disagree with me, that's fine. Throw it down in the comments and, just kind of elaborate, and we'll go from there. So let's start off with the idea, or what I would say is the misconception. Now, I'm guilty of this too. This is something that I really have just learned over the last few seasons that's really came to fruition for me as I've been able to finish higher and higher on the leaderboard. So typically what people have said, or what even I have said, is it's a little bit unfair, or it's extremely unfair, that the higher you finish, the higher that you get to start in the following season. So the idea is that these players get so far ahead in tech. Tech is just simply when you're unlocking something, whether it's using, having more keys or tokens than someone else, gives you more things, gives you a higher tech level in Warships, so we just refer to it as tech. It gives you more tech than the other person, and then they're like, oh, well, I can't catch up to this guy because he finished higher than me last season. That's stupid. And I mean, it's correct and it's incorrect, but it's mostly incorrect to think that way, and I'm going to explain why. So just, as a personal example, actually, no, let's not do that yet. So here's the thing. Yes, it is an advantage. That's right. But it's not a huge advantage. That's the thing. The advantage comes between tiers. So there's a tier gap, right? We have wood, stone, iron, gold, diamond, and legendary. Now, if you finished so high on the leaderboard that you are able to start in a gold rank and open your 4 out of 4 chests, yeah, that's a pretty good advantage. But at the same time, this is the this would be the what's the word I'm looking for? This would be like the most significant advantage, the most significant rank. And to start in gold, you're looking at maybe finishing in the top 100, maybe the top 150 actually start in gold. So that being said, what's the alternative? So the alternative is you start in iron and you have to grind your way up to gold, and you don't get those first 4 chests in gold. That's assuming that you collect all of those first 4 chests in gold. That's where the advantage would come from. Now, let's look at that for a second. That's still only a net benefit of about 20 keys. Sure, that's a big deal, but over the course of the season, is it gonna, really be that huge if you're not following the basics, if you're not attacking properly, if you're not defending properly, if you're not changing your layouts, if you're not pushing at the correct times, if you're not attacking a lot and playing extremely frequently? Like, the idea that you can finish high one season, turn it over, and then you just get an easy walk the next season, that is false. That is not true. You still have to play very well. You have to make perfect, or very smart tech tree decisions. And everything like that. So that's kind of the one side. But the alternative is, and for most players this is true, you probably finish, somewhere. I'll talk about the low-level stuff in a second, but you probably finish somewhere in between, iron and gold. And you're probably somewhere in that, rank 10, 11, or rank 11, 12, 13, 14 mark. I think that's kind of the majority of players, and for those of you that's not, I'll get to that in a minute. So let's look at that for a second. Sure, they get to open, rank 14 gets to open one more chest higher than rank 13 if they finished in 22 versus 21, or however the math works out. That being said, if you can simply get to rank 15 on day 1, you're all going to be on the same page, and that's not usually that arduous of a task to get to rank 15 or rank 14 or wherever you want to put that kind of, imaginary line where it evens out. The big thing that I said in the beginning is the tier gaps. That's what That's where the advantage comes from. Otherwise, it's not even an advantage. Look at this, for example. I'll talk about myself now, and I'll do a comparison with Opdestroy. So Opdestroy didn't play a lot in the previous season. I played a ton, and I finished higher than him. And on day one of this season, he was actually higher than I was. And that was because, obviously he played well and stuff, but we both, at the time, we both got to rank 15. So we had the exact same tech. Even though I opened a couple chests earlier than him, I had no advantage at that point. You know what I mean? We had the same tech at the same time. We both had to wait for the same next chest and unlock stuff from there. And that's how it works. So I really wanted to try my best to clear this up because, yes, it is an advantage. Yes, if you're comparing yourself to, somebody like Cactus that is finishing at Legendary 3 and starting off at, 4 ERs with whatever, and 2 building healths or something like that, just for example, yeah, you're going to have a hard time and it's essentially going to be impossible to catch him. That's only like the top 100 guys. Most people, myself included, are not going to be able to touch them anyways. So, I feel like there's always been this misconception of, the problem of starting higher means you're going to finish higher, and that's just simply not true. I had my best season ever last season, and season 35 was probably my best season ever, and season 36 was one of the worst that I've had in the last 15 seasons or so. So it all comes, with contact. It also depends on the tech tree. If there's something like if there's a really good push point right after 4 ERs or something like that, like maybe there's Seekers super early and nothing can stop Seekers. Yeah, that can become a problem where, again, if you're at that, specific rank gap and you're able to get that extra chest and get the Seekers earlier before, 90% of everybody else. Yeah, there's instances where that can happen, but that's pretty few and far between. That definitely does not happen every season. Now, let's talk about the lower level guys. So the exact same is true. We've seen multiple accounts, and I want to give a shout out to Shishka Bobber because I know he's done this on more than one occasion, and he's a huge proponent for the most part of the point that I'm trying to get across, where he started at rank 1 and then I believe made it to gold on day 1. And that's just, that's just playing properly. That's just, you're unlocking the right things, you're using the right attack meta, you're using the right base. Those things are far and above, way more important. Also, starting the season at 3 a.m. or whatever, and pushing to optimal times. Those things are way more important than your starting tech. So I think that's a great thing. That's a great thing because it means more people are going to be on an even level all the time, and it's not this thing where the leaderboard guys are just going to dominate each and every season. I think most people will kind of finish where they are because that's just where they're able to get to, whether that's based on skill or life gets in the way. I know people are busy and you can't always do 1,000 attacks in one season. That's definitely something that held me back a little bit. Kind of making excuses still, but yeah, definitely something that held me back a little bit on the last season. But regardless, yeah. So I think I kind of hit all the points I wanted to talk about. I'll check my notes, but yeah, I mean, even the maximum key gap between wood and gold that is impossible to get back would be 20 keys. So it's a bit of an advantage for sure, but it's not really game breaking by any means. And also, just a side note, there's been a number of players that have gone from wood to gold day 1, so it's not like starting rank 1 means you're bound to be stuck in wood or stone, etc. for a long time. You can get back up quite quickly if you choose the right path and attacks, etc. The simple definition is that that would be starting players. Players starting higher is a small advantage over other players as a reward for finishing high last season, but the advantage still needs to be used properly and have good attacks, etc. to make use of it. So I hope that makes sense, and I'm interested to see, oops, that attack did not go well. Interested to see your guys' comments and thoughts, and if you totally disagree with me, that is totally fine. I want to hear why down below in the comment section, and I look forward to reading this one. I know it's a controversial subject. I try my best to explain kind of my point of view. And I think the more people that come to realize that that's how it works, that it's just better overall for the game. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch you next one, guys. Checking out Backpack.